Well, a very good evening to all the participants present here. We welcome you in the second chapter of Design Your Life series. And the topic of today's webinar is mental health and stability of students during COVID, challenges and ways to cope up. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Naveen Kaushik, IRO, to introduce the speaker in the webinar.
Thank you, Ayush, and very good morning to all of you. So once again, we are here in the second session of Design Your Life. And on behalf of MIT, I would like to welcome Ms. Soumya Kaushik, who is a mental health sociologist and psychiatrist. And she is also running an NGO, which is named as the Smile Love Care Foundation. And the topic she has chosen is very interesting these days because we are from last more than 1.5 years, we have been suffering from this, even everyone, entire world is suffering from this COVID. And in this COVID era, life has changed, mentality has changed. And on this topic, Ms. Soumya Kaushik is here with us to take this session on mental health and stability of students during COVID, challenges and ways to cope up. So without wasting any more time, I would like to invite Ms. Soumya Kaushik to continue this session. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, everyone. So I would like to start upon my topic. Could you just stop sharing the screen so that I could able to share my screen? Thank you. So today we decided to talk about the mental health stability in student life during COVID-19. Are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Basically, mental health is very important at every stage of life, from childhood to adults and from adulthood. Although the terms are often used interchangeably, poor mental health and mental illness are also not the same things. A person can experience poor mental health and not to be diagnosed with mental illness. Likewise, a person diagnosed with mental illness can experience periods of physical, mental, and social well-being. So we are going to talk about how common are mental illness. Mental illness are among the most common health condition in the United States. More than 50% will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder at some point in their lifetime. 1 in 5 Americans will experience a mental illness in a given year. 1 in 5 children, either currently or at some point during their life, have had seriously debilitating mental illness. 1 in 25 Americans live with serious mental illness such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and major depression. These are those disorders which are very common right now or during our adolescent time. So there are some mental health and wellness. How can we keep ourselves positive during this COVID time? Positive mental health allows people to realize their full potential. It's very important to know our full potential in our life, cope with the stresses of life, work productivity, make meaningful contribution to their communities. It's very important, like we should productively work. We should make our timetable, we should make time management so that we could work productively in our life and have a very positive life rather than sitting alone and doing nothing is keeping our mind into negative things. So to live into a positive life, it's very important to take care of our mental health and wellness. Ways to maintain positive mental health. So if you like very much in negative thinking, so how we can change our thinking to positive. uh, for example, you are sitting alone, and even if you don't have any friends, you can go to the professional counselor and you can talk to that person. Other thing is connecting with others. If you have very good friends, talk to them, call them. If even they don't call you, you can call them, talk, share your feelings, staying positive even if things are getting very negative in your life. So you should think positive, and you should be like, yes, I am very positive person. Start getting into good affirmations too for yourself. Helping others is very important in life. There are people in like, they are very happy when you help others. Go and give something, like if you go and help, give things to poor people. Go and give clothes to the poor people, or get some money to the poor people, and you will feel very happy. Getting enough sleep. Today many adolescents sleep during at least at 12 a.m., or they sleep around 3 a.m., which is probably a very depressive state today. So we should take care of our sleep patterns. Developing coping skills. So we should develop our coping skills by time management, by making schedules, etc. So today, now we are going to talk about mental health myths and facts. Mental health, the problems affect everyone. First of all, it's a myth that mental health doesn't affect everyone, but during the childhood to the old age, mental health affects everyone. Myth.
So, ma'am, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt, ma'am. Kindly do it full screen.
Um, Actually, sir, the slides will not change because I checked, so I have to do like this only.
Okay, not an issue. Not an issue.
Yes. First myth: mental health problems don't affect me. Many people have this notion that mental health is not going to affect them, but that's not true. Mental health can affect anyone. Fact is that mental health problems are actually very common. In 2014, about 1 in 5 American adults experience a mental health issue. 1 in 10 young people experience a period of major depression. 1 in 25 Americans live with serious mental illness such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or major depression. Schizophrenia is the type of disorder where there is no actual person in front of you, but you think that there is a person and we are talking to that person. Bipolar disorder, it is a symptoms where you are getting whole over the depression and happiness at the same time. So we are going to talk about second myth. Children don't experience mental health problems, but that's actually true that children experience mental health problems. So fact is, even every young children may show early warning signs of mental health concerns. These mental health problems are often clinically diagnosable and can be a product of the interaction of biological, psychological, and social factors. Half of all mental health disorders show first sign before a person turns 14-year-old, and 3/4 of mental health disorders begin before age 24. Unfortunately, less than 20% of children and adolescents with diagnosable mental health problems receive treatment they need. Early mental health support can help a child before problems interfere with other development needs. So there is a problem like before 3-year-old child, if child is not 3-year-old and he or she may be suffering from a psychological disorder, especially a neurological disorder. So it's very difficult to diagnose with a child because they are not fully developed. So if the child is not fully developed, it's difficult for a psychologist or any medical practitioner to find out that if they are suffering from any kind of psychological disorder. So if many parents in India right now say that their child is overreactive, their child is very over happy, so they think that it's very normal, but sometimes it's not normal. We need to break this myth also, that parents who think their child is fine with these abilities they are going through, but actually these are disabilities, these are psychological problems, that the child is very overreactive, very overwhelming, and the actions they are performing, that is not matching the society roles. So it's better that parents today understand that they should go to the psychologist to diagnose what the child is going through. Next, with this. People with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable. That is not true, that every person that has been going through psychological disorders are violent. Because if you are, for example, if a person is suffering from depression, he or she might be very quiet. He and she might not be sharing you things, and they might directly go into the room, into the darkest place, and they sit down lonely, and they feel like we have no one. They feel they get isolated by themselves, so they don't want a person to talk to them. But it's very important that we need to, as a person, if we think that yes, we are positive, we need to talk to that depressing person. We really don't want we really don't have to go to the psychologist to have the counseling sessions. We even a major part that plays in everyone's life is family. If a family is very supportive, if a family is the understanding, so there is no chance that if that a child should go to the psychologist to tell their own feelings to them. But yes, if you are not able to solve your problem, if you are not able to tell what you are going through, you these psychologists, we as a medical practitioners are always there to listen to you, because we don't judge. We are not here to judge anyone on the basis, because everyone has their own story and everyone is going through at different phases. Maybe the adulthood is not good, maybe the childhood is not good. So today the major problems are going through with also the parental during the COVID time is how to keep a relationship between a adult and parent, because today we are living with our parents, we are not going outside. So having all of them at the same house and at different ages, so it's very difficult. And to cope up with this, we can build a healthy to build a very healthy family. It's very important to build a healthy relationship between parents and adults. So the fact here is the vast majority of people with mental health problems are no more likely to be violent than anyone else. Most people with mental health illness are not violent, and only 3 to 5% of violent acts can be attributed to individuals living with serious mental illness. In fact, people with severe mental illness are over 10 times more likely to be victims of violent crime than the general population. You probably know someone with mental health problems and don't even realize it, because many people with mental health problems are highly active and productive members of communities. So, if a person, for example, if a college going student is having depression just because his family is very strict, now she is coming to college in a very normal clothes, and all the college students are wearing high-fi clothes. Now that person, the college student now started bullying him or her, and that person is very silent. That is, he is not speaking anything, but you are just bullying again and again and again about their clothes, about their looks. And suddenly that depressing person one day gone through so much that they get into a condition of suicide. So it's very important that we should probably never bully the person in anyone's life. It's very important. Like, for example, if even you are going to online classes and the other person is not the other person said maybe the wrong answer, and all the classmates start laughing. If the person is having talking to someone, and by chance their mic are still went open, and you heard there's someone private talks, and you started just if someone made the video of that private chat, don't share. It's not good to share someone private chat. Maybe the person is very talking very important to that other person and forget to close their mic. So instead of that, help that person, help to know that person that your mic is open. You should mute that rather making fun of that person. It's very important that taking care of someone mental health is keeping our mental wellness in a healthy manner. Next slide is talking about the myth. People with mental health needs, even those who are managing their mental illness, cannot tolerate the stress of holding down a job. It's not true. People can going through mental illness can hold the job very properly, even if they are going. It's not talking about like you are getting into a severe mental health and mental illness and you are holding a job. That is not true. But if person is going through like mood swings, if person is going through anxiety, can actually hold a job properly. Fact is, people with mental health problems are just as productive as other employees. Employers who hire people with mental health problems report good attendance and punctuality, as well as motivation, good work, and job tenure on par with or greater than other employees. When employees with mental health problems receive effective treatment, it can result in lower total medical cost, increased productivity, lower absenteeism, decreased disability cost. So, for example, today we talk about college students. College students go to college, but they rightly, like if their college is so far away from their home, so they take absenteeism from their college and they're likely to sit at their home. But that is isolation part, that you are getting isolated from the college, and you as a person is more likely to get depression who are getting isolated from their daily routine. So if you follow your daily routine, if you go to college, if you attend classes, if you give productive times of yours in a very productive work, you less likely to get into depression, or you less likely to get into any kind of psychological disorder, because you are very productive person. You are today very energetic person. So being energetic is very important because energy comes from positivity, and positivity comes only when your heart and mind are together and you are ready to ensure that yes, today is a very like, if you wake up the next morning, you should be thankful that yes, I'm alive, yes, I am today, I'm ready to make today I'm ready to face the problems that are going in my life. Today I will explore new things in my life. Maybe I am not good at, I don't have any talent. For example, you don't have any talents like you are not good in music, you are not good in dance, you are not good in poetry. But what is your talent? Your talent is you become a very positive person today, and you becoming as a positive person, you are going to talk to people in a very natural behavior, and you will participate in everything, no matter what you are going through, no matter you are not good at these talents, but somewhere there everyone is born with talents. You can go with those talents accordingly. Another myth is personality weakness or character flaws cause mental health problems. People with mental health problems can snap out of it. They try hard enough. Fact is, mental health problems have nothing to do with being lazy or weak, and many people need help to get better. Many factors contribute to mental health problems, including biological factors such as genes, physical illness, injury, or brain chemistry. Life experiences such as trauma or history of abuse, family history of mental health problems, people with mental health problems can get better and many recover completely. So if you are having any flaws or any weakness, or you are lazy sometimes, but that is not related to mental illnesses, that you are waking up at 12 o'clock, you are waking up at 4 o'clock, it doesn't connect you to mental illness. But actually, if you are going through traumas, if your family is having a problem of getting schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a genetic disorder. It's not every time genetic, but it's also it's also a social factor too. So if you are suffering from schizophrenia, your anybody in a family getting schizophrenic. So as you are born, you've grown up, uh, the schizophrenia, you may not know that you are having the gene of schizophrenia, because it's a gene that is right now, it's just sleep inside our body. But as soon as you get triggered, for example, you saw someone dead, or you saw something that triggers you a lot, then the schizophrenic genes get triggered so fast that you start going through schizophrenic disorders or any other disorder that is genetic. So to keep that genes sleeping, you need to take care of your mental health. You need to be positive. You what positive things you acquire, you go through the activities you want, or find out the person who don't give you negative advice, because today people are too much into this thing that they give you advice according to their life situation. They don't give you advice according to your situation. Very important to find a very empathetic person rather than sympathetic person, because sympathy is provided by everyone, not a person who gives you empathy. It's very rare that you find a very empathetic person who is keeping their own shoes in your shoes to understand your feelings, your emotions. It's very important. So helping individual mental health problems. Myth is there is no hope for people with mental health problems. Once a friend or family member develop mental health problems, he or she will never recover. That is not true. Anybody can recover from any problems. Fact is, study shows that people with mental health problems get better and many recover completely. Recovery refers to the process in which people are able to live, work, learn, and participate fully in their communities. There are more treatment services and community support systems than ever before, and they work. Another myth is therapy and self-help are waste of time. Why bother when you can just take a pill? That is not true that you should take a pill and you will be fine. Doctors can give you a pill. Those doctors that just prescribe you that headache problems pill, but actually headaches can also due to the psychological disorders. So the fact is treatment for mental health problems varies depending on the individual and could include medication, therapies, or both. Many individuals work with support system during the healing and recovering process. So it's very important that while you are recovering or while you are healing from any kind of disorders, we should we should not be like alone getting into those healing processes, because it's very important that you should find a very genuine empathic person in your life who is also helping you to getting healed. Because if your progress report is you are taking it by yourself that you are, yes, this is my progress report, I'm not totally fine, but that's not true. You should have a person with you that taking care of your progress report day by day, week by week, month by month. So it's very important that you connect with a good counselor and psychologist with you so that they can heal you, they can support you. Because there are lots of counselor also that they just you just share them your feelings, but they don't follow the rules that a counselor should. They don't sometimes take things as a confidential things, but a good counselor always have a good relationship with their client, and also they keep their things as confidential. Another myth is I can't do anything for a person with mental health problems, but that is not true. Friends and loved ones can make a big difference. Only 44% of adults with diagnosable mental health problems and less than 20% of children and adolescents receive needed treatment. Friends and family can be more important influences to help someone to get the treatment and services they need by reaching out and letting them know you are available to help, helping them access mental health services, learning and share the facts about mental health, especially if you hear something that isn't true, treating them with respect, just as you would anyone else, refusing to define them by their diagnosis or using labels such as crazy. Never use this word as crazy, because making that person is like you are targeting that person and you are telling them you are crazy, you can't do anything. That is very affected thing to that person. So never use that word. Another myth is prevention doesn't work. It is impossible to prevent mental illness. It is actually prevention is better than cure. So this term here is like you can prevent your mental illness by being positive, by talking to someone who is very close to you. Even if nobody is close to you, tell you again, I'm telling you again and again, we as a psychologist, as a mental health practitioner are always there to listen to you. Fact is, prevention of mental, emotional, and behavioral disorder focuses on addressing known risk factors such as exposure to trauma that affect the chances that children, youth, and young adults will develop mental health problems. Promoting the social emotional well-being of children and youth leads to higher overall productivity, better educational outcomes, lower crime rates, stronger economies, lower health care costs, improved qualities of life. So, in fact, we are talking about now what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic time too. In the face of global COVID-19 pandemic, schools have confronted unprecedented challenges as they move to quickly shift classes to an online format, provide equitable access for all students, support teachers and students' educational needs, and make plans amidst certain uncertainty. The pandemic itself has caused much grief, stress, and worry. These stresses can cause mental health challenges for anyone and can cause acute symptoms to appear for people who may experience his pre-existing mental health challenges. Maybe during the COVID time, it's very difficult. Today, it's very difficult to go to share feelings with your teachers, like because the cameras are off, because the mics are mute. So the teacher is only speaking to the children, and there is not one-to-one conversation. There is only one-sided conversation. So it's very important that students should engage with their teachers, and teachers should engage with their students. Maybe the parent, the the student may not able to share their feelings to their parents, but the teacher can actually understand the feeling of students. The students should share their problems they are facing through in their life. Maybe during not you are not comfortable during your class, so text your teacher like, can I talk to you, ma'am, during the time when you are free? Like, for example, you message your teacher, can I talk to you at 4 o'clock? And your teacher says that, no, I am right now busy. You can talk to me at that time. I think a teacher should also give their student a time where they can talk to them, a time where the student and teacher both are free. For example, your a good teacher gives you time to, for example, 7 o'clock. Talk to them, call them. Don't disregard your teachers. If they are making time to listen to you, then talk to them. Some of the typical indicators teachers may use to identify students experiencing mental health difficulties have the same student drop-ins. Some teachers may not able to reach students' masked faces. As such, teachers may wonder how students are going or the degree to which they are struggling, particularly with respect to emotional problems. Here we address how teachers can use existing processes in schools to identify students who may need extra support, especially regarding anxiety and depression, which can often go undetected even after the best of circumstances. There are lots of things that today are not able to be diagnosed today, because certainly if a person is hiding a face by uh, offing the camera, so it's you are not able to share your feelings with your teachers. It's like keeping there is need to keep some kind of good conversation time or some kind of meetings with your teachers where you are able to share what is going to with your life, what is going during for you can even, like, before class you can have, for example, you have 45 minutes class. So before going into 45 minutes of class, You can take 15 minutes of your teacher's time and talk to them. Ask your teacher what is even going through your teacher life, because even a teacher is today going through very a psychological problem, because they also have to handle their home, their family. So as a student, you should respect them. You should ask them that if they need any help. Maybe the teacher will say that no, there I don't need your help. It's okay, beta, it's fine. But as a student, you should take responsibility everywhere, because you are the future generation who has come up with a new ideas, who is going to be ideal generation today. So uh, and if you are going to speak to our teachers, tell them. And a teacher should, when they are having these sessions, mental health sessions or mental health webinars by themselves, so they should make the counselor sit with them, their college counselor or any school counselor with them, so that you can share your feelings with the counselor of your college. It's very school counselor and college counselor plays a very important role today, because it's very important that you may not able to find counselor from outside, but you got a counselor from schools or colleges. Because today, even I shared you a short story about myself. I I was bullied during my school time, and I was not able to share my feelings to any of the counselor, because I went to the convent school, and I couldn't share my feelings with my family because they are very strict. So I was going through this phase of sadness and grief just because I was bullied during my school time. I and The worst part was that my school has no counselor or psychologist, and there are no people who talk about mental health. Everyone was like, we are the best, we don't have any problems in our life. So definitely, then I went to some international school where I talked to them, but the counselor didn't keep those things confidential. So I was very sad that time that the counselor should keep those things at a very confidential level. They talk to my parents about it. And then during my college time, I went to the psychologist for, I didn't have any psychological disorders or anything, but that's the thing that lowered my self-esteem, that I was bullied, that yes, sometimes the past issues come in front of you and you are not able to share your feelings with people. So I went to my counselor during my school time and meet uh, during college time, and I meet her, and she was a very good counselor who gives me the positive activities at that time. I was I just portrayed her in my life as a role model, and today I become a medical practitioner, where I am taking sessions of the people right now and giving them counseling sessions with them. So it's very important to develop a recovery plan. If you are struggling with mental health problems, you may want to develop a written recovery plans. So it's very important, like if you are going through depression or anxiety or any kind of mood disorders or mood swings even, so you can build a recovery plan. See, if you are very positive about life and you know that yes, I'm not going to judge anyone. I'm very empath person. I'm very a high person where I could share things with people, where I'm very friendly. Yeah. And one more thing is very important. Never be an totally an introvert person, never be a totally extrovert person. Being an ambivert is very important. Being an ambivert will keep you boundaries. Ambivert means you are not too you know where to open yourself, and to be ambivert is where to close down yourself. Like if you are for example, if a person is very extrovert, now the person will share their feelings to the stranger also. They can highly share things in front of the stranger. If you are going in a metro or any kind of place where you met a stranger, you started suddenly talking to them. You don't know the stranger, but you started talking to them and you share all your feelings, all the emotions. The other moment, they can even use your advantage of your emotions, that you just gave your number and then you will be like in a trouble problem. Now other thing is, you are totally introvert. You are not share your feelings. You are just hiding your feelings inside your heart, and you are just filling up the bucket with your emotions. That is also likely to keep you isolated. You may not enjoy the reality of life. You may feel the dark places. You can see the rainbow through your eyes, but you are still facing the dark places. Why? Because you are introvert. So don't be introvert, don't be extrovert. You should be ambivert. Just don't open to yourself with people whom you don't know. Open yourself with people who you know very well, that yes, they will understand me. They will keep our feelings with us. They will help us to be a kind of person you want to be. They will help you in a growth. You can even admire, like for example, if you admire someone, maybe that person is not available, but you admire actor or actresses or a cricketer. Okay, now you admire that person and you want to be like cricketer or actor. No, that is not true, that you will get the sweetness of life so early that yes, I want to be actor and I will be the same person like Deepika Padukone or any kind of actor you want to be. But for that you need to be read the history of life. You need to go, you need to research about them first, that what they gone through the struggle, because every person's struggle is very different. You can't get the same struggle the other person is going through. You may not feel the emotions of the other person until and unless you are an empath person. Secondly, specifying what you can do to reach those goals. Now you want to be successful. Now it's very important that how you going to reach those goals. The reaching of an actor to be successful is their another goal. They apply their own strategies. Your strategies are very different. So never compare your strategies, or you want your success, or you want to be like them. Try to keep a role model in your life, but encourage your own ideas, own thoughts, that how you can be positive. Maybe the your positivity, maybe my positivity starts with my journal. I keep a journal and I keep writing positive things in my life, what I want to be, what I want, how I can discuss things with people. Your positive things may be a novel. You can read a novel in your spare time and you can tell, okay, so I read this novel. Now there is no one to listen to your story from the novel. You can directly write in your you have your laptops, you have a phone. Keep making a summary. I'm also like today I'm also writing a book. My book name is Behind Every Personality. Soon it will be published. I'm writing a mental health book where right now I'm going to talk about these problems. So you can even find your own talents during this pandemic time rather than going through Instagram. Social media is very a good platform if you use them properly, if you use them like in a very good manner. Like I use social media for where I find mental health topics. What are the best mental health topics? What are the people going through what are the people histories, or what are the people perfect peoples, or what are people going to share about themselves in the social media, rather than going through these problems where you are just finding a quotations that is not even applying to your life. Because you as an adolescent, you are going through a phase where mental health problems are very normal, and it's very important to normalize these things in your life. But then that is sometimes very bad to hear that adolescent is like going through all these phases, although you are going through like relationships problems and everything. But keeping aside these problems, it's very important that self growth is very important. Relationships and other feelings, if you are not able to like share your feelings with your teachers, no matter, it's okay, but you can share with your feelings with your, maybe the relationship with you are right now with. Grow with that feelings and grow with that person. Share your feelings with them. Try to change your thoughts with them. Try to exchange your feelings. Maybe you don't have any friends and you have that partner. Share with them. Maybe you have friends, you don't have partner. Share with them. Share with your friends. Share what you want. Share with people who are right person with you. Identify your triggers. Track any changes in your mental health. Get information about partners for recovery, which provide technical resources to those who deliver services for mental health and substance abuse conditions. So try to develop a recovery plan with the person whom you are very happy with, that person whom you want to be with that person, because at the end you are with that person only whom you going to share, whom you going to uh, recover yourself from mental health problems. So thank you, and all this uh, giving a chance to me to speak about mental health problems on this platform.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for the such a wonderful session. Will the participants can write their queries in the chat box so that men can take up the questions also. In the chat box, you can write the questions if you have any.
I can share my email address. So if anyone wants to share, talk to me or anything, they can talk to me. I'm just writing my email.
Yes, ma'am, you can share it.
Yes, we can make a positive attitude in a 10-year-old child. If parenting is very good, if you are like having you as a sister can make that 10-year-old child very positive, showing them positive activities or any kind of things you want in life.
Ma'am, we have one more question. How can we lower the uncertainty fear in adolescents?
We can uncertainty fear in adolescent is when you that is one thing, like you should face your own fear, and you can face your own fear only when what you are feared of. For example, I was very feared about my maths exam, and I shared you I was not good in my maths exam, and now I and my father was very strict during he was a topper in maths and I wasn't topper in maths. So was very I was going through anxiety and fear of that. How can I manage my maths exam? And it was a 10th board. And then my parents kept a tutor where I faced my fear, this thing in a very gentle manner, that yes, to achieve something you need to face your fear. So I got around 70% like in maths, and I wasn't sure at that time that if I will fail or I will seriously achieve my maths paper. So it's very important to face your fear, and your fear will definitely go on. And this is my Instagram ID. You can, and my email ID is.
And we have one more question. How can we develop positive attitude in a 10-year child?
Sir, I already answered that question.
Okay.
Someone wants to ask, how can we, as class counselor, guide students?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
How can we guide the students as a class counselor? Somebody asked this question.
How can we guide counselor?
How can we guide the students as class counselors?
Okay, you if you are if see you if you are a medical practitioner, then only you can actually guide. But as a positive person, you can give them the activities. You can ask them that yes, I'm here to you can use positive affirmations with you. Yes, I'm here with you. I can you can share me things as a counselor. If you are class counselor, you want to be, you can go and share things with them and tell them, yes, I'm here to listen to you. Write down, keep a diary with you and write down what they are going through, anxiety or any kind of problems they are going through. Then finally read them. Okay, the person is going through this, so I have to be giving advice according to their problem. Don't never give advice that is not related to their problems or any anxiety or any kind of problems they are going through. So it's very important to keep in mind. So as a class counselors you want to be, so you use positive affirmations rather than giving advice that is really related to therapies or something. Never give their advice until and unless you are medical practitioners. Thank you.
Well, I think all the questions are covered, ma'am, whatever the participants asked. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Naveen Kaushik IRO to propose a vote of thanks to the speaker.
It was a wonderful session, and Soumya explained everything very point-wise. And thank you, attendees, to attend this session. Today we have a quite good number. And what I noted in this entire presentation, our positive mindset is very important in life. That is very helpful should always be positive in any condition so that we can overcome our fear. And Soumya explained all these things very explanatory way. And thank you so much, Ms. Soumya Kaushik, and thank you all the attendees. So stay safe and take care.
I actually wanted to request every participant if we can open the cameras and have the picture once so that we can keep this webinar with a memory. If is it possible?
Yeah, sure.
I'm attending this webinar through my desktop, so I don't have any camera, so I have to